video. It was about 7 months ago. I did a freezer breakfast burrito meal prep video on my channel, and you guys have really seemed to like that one. I've gotten a lot of great feedback, and so in this video, I'm going to share with you my personal favorite freezer breakfast burrito recipe, and that is a vegan sweet potato black bean. If you enjoy the video while you are watching it, give it a thumbs up, subscribe to my channel if you haven't, and go ahead and share this video with your friends so they can meal prep their breakfast burritos too. So let's just jump right into it. I have my oven preheating to 400 degrees, and I already pulled out 4 sweet potatoes and I rinsed them off and peeled them so we'd be ready to rock and roll. So I'm going to start by chopping up my sweet potatoes and putting them in my big bowl. It's kind of behind my spices, but I have a big stainless steel bowl back here. So I have my sweet potatoes chopped in my big bowl, and I'm going to add 1/4 cup of olive oil. Then I'm going to add 4 teaspoons of chili powder, 2 teaspoons of garlic powder, 2 teaspoons of paprika, 1 teaspoon of cumin, and then about 1/2 teaspoon of cayenne pepper if you like things spicy. If you aren't as big of a fan of spicy, I would leave that out and maybe not do quite as much of some of the other spices as well, but I love stuff spicy, so I'm going to go ahead and do about 1/2 teaspoon of cayenne pepper. A little bit of salt, anywhere from like 1/4 teaspoon to a full teaspoon depending on your preferences. I'm just going to do a really big pinch here. And then same thing with the pepper. I'm just going to do a couple of pinches of that as well. Got my wooden spoon, and I'm just going to mix all of that up. Alright, when that is good and mixed, I have my baking sheet ready and my oven is preheated. I use these silicone reusable baking sheets on my baking sheet instead of like parchment paper or something, but I would definitely line it with something. I will link the silicone baking sheets that I use below. It's a great way to reduce waste, and you can use them over and over again, so I totally love them. I'm just going to pour the entire bowl onto my baking sheet. Spread all of this out evenly as possible. If you want to use 2 baking sheets, you can do that too. This is a lot to fit on one, but it totally works. And then I'm going to pop this in the oven for 25 to 30 minutes, and we will prepare the rest of our stuff while that cooks. 25 minutes. Okay, so in this same bowl, since we just had like the oil and the spices and everything, I don't want to waste like the residue of those spices, and so I use the same bowl to start preparing like the burrito filling. So earlier today I made some black beans in my Instant Pot. I love making beans in the Instant Pot versus buying canned beans because it reduces waste, it is so much cheaper, and it's really so easy if you have an Instant Pot. So I encourage you to check that video out if you haven't made dry beans in your Instant Pot before, but I'm going to go ahead and pull those out. For this recipe we need 4 cups of cooked beans, and then I love adding some green onion or onion, and right now I have some dried green onions, so dried chopped chives. So I'm just going to sprinkle like a big sprinkle of that in there. And then I use 3 to 4 cups of salsa. If you have a favorite store-bought salsa, you can use that. I prepared a little homemade salsa this morning, and so I'm going to go ahead and dump that in my bowl. And then I like to add some spinach into this recipe. We have no fresh spinach right now, but I always have frozen spinach in the freezer, so I'm going to grab that. This is actually a baby spinach and baby kale blend. So you do you on the spinach. You can put a whole bunch, you can put just a little bit if you want to sneak some greens in there. I just put a little pile, nothing too crazy. And then I'm going to go ahead and just mix that all together really well. Okay, I'm just checking these and they are cooked. So I'm going to go ahead and scoop them into my big bowl. Alright, I'm just going to stir this up so it is totally combined. And in my last video, you guys had a little bit of a problem with me for not heating up the tortillas like on the stove first. And if I was going to eat it fresh right now, like make this for dinner or for breakfast or something, I would totally heat the tortilla up first and roll it, and I know that that would taste better fresh. But you guys, I'm putting these in the freezer, and so when we're reheating them later, whether we do it in the skillet or the microwave, the tortilla gets plenty heated up then. So it's really not necessary, and it will save you time to not. I'm just using regular tortillas, but you can go ahead and use a gluten-free tortilla if that is what you need. I have definitely made some gluten-free ones, and the tortillas tend to like crack and they're a little bit harder to roll, but they still totally work. All of the burritos are rolled, and I got 11 of them. I don't measure how much I'm putting into each tortilla, but I try to just fill them up so that each burrito is like a good hearty meal, whether it's for breakfast or for dinner. I think I most often have them for breakfast, but they would be great for like really any meal throughout the day. So this time I got 11 of them, and then I have been exploring different ways of storing these in the freezer. I would love to do it in a way that I'm not creating any waste, that's more sustainable. And a lot of you guys suggested beeswax wraps on my last burrito video, and I'm really curious to try those out. Can you guys tell me your experience with freezing them? Do they freeze really well? And then once you unfreeze them, can you like wash them and then keep refreezing them like for the same thing? They're just kind of spendy, so before I invest in those, I want to hear you guys' experience about freezing them, those of you who have tried it. But besides that, my way that I had been doing it was foil, so I'm going to do some of them that way, and then I'm going to try some of them in parchment paper, and then I'm going to try freezing some of them just in like a glass baking pan. So we're going to try a few different ways, and I will compare those ways. So I'm going to start with the pan and then see how well that works. I love if this worked and I wouldn't have to really buy anything special, and then yeah, that would be like best case scenario. I can really only fit 4 in here without them touching. So I'm gonna go ahead and put those in the freezer, and then I'll wrap the rest of them. This is how I had been doing it, and again, I just wanna reduce the waste of foil, and so I'm doing like 5 with foil since I still have foil. And then quite a few of you suggested using parchment paper and then just like taping it shut or using a sticker to get it shut. So I'm gonna try a couple that way and see how that compares to foil and our other experiment. All right, I have them all wrapped. I had 4 in the pan, 4 in foil, and 3 in parchment paper. That's 11. And if I have any updates on freezing method, this is just of all the things you guys suggested, and thank you so much for all of your suggestions. I really appreciate it. But of all of your suggestions, these are the things that I already could try. So we're gonna try this first and go from there. But if I have any updates on freezing, I will insert that right here. The foil ones work well, as they always have for me. The parchment paper ones, I ended up not even using tape or stickers or anything to tape them shut. I just set them in like upside down so they'd stay rolled. And those ones have worked just as well as the foil, so that would be a great alternative. And then they seem like pretty clean coming out, and so I think I could even reuse them. I have this one from the last one that I had, and I just folded it up and put it back in the freezer so that I can pull it out next time and use it again. And then I ate all of the ones in the baking sheet already, and those ones worked well too, but they did get a little freezer burned. I'm not sure if I should try letting them like cool all the way before putting them in the freezer, but they did get a little freezer burn. I still think they tasted fine once you warm them up, but hey Hubs.
Hi.
When I pull them out of the freezer, it's usually one at a time, and I will unwrap it and put it on a plate and microwave it for 2 minutes, and then flip it over to the other side and microwave it for another 2 minutes. You can also let them thaw first, and then you don't have to microwave it as long, or if you want to let like multiple thaw, and then you can throw them all in a skillet and heat them up that way. So there's lots of options, but if you're just doing one at a time and you're doing it because you're like in a hurry and need something quick, the fastest way to do it is just to microwave it 2 minutes, and boom, you've got breakfast. And that is it. Thank you guys so much for watching. Make sure and let me know if you want to see some more vegan meal prep videos, and let me know if you're going to try out this one and what you think if you do. So that is it. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I will see you in my next one. Bye guys!